Always something new.
That's right.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Not
Is this
looking
us
forward.
today? Well, Bob should be.
Yeah, here he comes. Door's locked.
The door is locked. Thanks, Joan.
Yes, thank you.
Not looking forward to those 100 degrees.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Got a garage sale this weekend. I figure it could be
Oh.
very good if people are so hot that they get in their car and drive because there's air conditioning. They'll come. Otherwise, it may be very bad if they have air conditioning
Yep.
at home.
Yep, we had
don't
our
know what to expect.
Lake Limerick had their community garage sale on Saturday. So
Oh, they did.
yeah.
Hi
This
guys.
is
Hi, Bob.
Christmas Village one this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So my knees are a little tender.
So how'd you do?
We did not sell
Okay.
hardly any of our big furniture that we wanted to get rid of.
Oh,
So that was disappointing, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
would have obviously increased our
yeah.
profits because they sell. But at the same time, then at the end of the day, I sat down and counted the cash and made more than we thought we had. Because it's just
There you go.
little stuff does add up.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
just we would have liked to have gotten the
So
big
what's
stuff
what's
up.
the big stuff? I'm looking for 4 matching dining room chairs.
I have 4 matching dining room chairs.
What's the shape?
They're very simple. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, let's see what you have available.
Right there. Get bigger. There you go. So that's what they are. They're very basic, very simple. They're from IKEA.
They look great, but I want walnut finish.
So,
You can restain them.
I know.
Right,
so
if the
file
price-
cabinet,
Okay.
huge entertainment center, a frame for a mirror,
Oh, cool.
end table, lamp that needs a lamp shade, a vintage tricycle that
Oh,
the seat
look at that.
broke off,
The
so you'd
seat
have to
Oh,
find a way to get the little
Ah.
metal. I mean, that would be easy, getting the metal piece and then
Yeah.
but anyway, a chair with the foot that needs to be re-screwed in,
Okay.
a curio cabinet.
Oh,
wow,
that's
that's
pretty.
Our 12-foot Christmas tree, DVD case. These are smoked Aurifer glasses.
Oh, cool.
It's not a complete set, but
we should just haul it all over to the PEO sale, right?
That's right.
well, yeah, we're gonna try to get someone to come and pick it up. So anyway, so that's what
no
all the
wing chairs.
big stuff.
Right.
What?
No wing chairs. I'm looking for.
It's a wing chair.
How would you? You know what a wing chair is?
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
How would
You
you?
guys got rid of 2 of them.
Yeah. Not too big. It's okay.
No, that's all the big stuff that we have as far as furniture and things. Everything else was small miscellaneous stuff. So, which people bought. That was
Yeah.
pretty much what everyone bought was small miscellaneous stuff. So, a lot of our old towels went fast.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nope, not really any clothes, but the towels
Yeah,
went like
clothes don't
crazy. An old chess set from Mexico. Anyway, random stuff. Fish tank. We got rid of one of the small fish tanks.
Oh.
So, it was like a backup of a backup. It was one from when Becca was a kid, but the front window was stained from years of evaporation and filling it up again, and
Yeah.
so it wasn't good for viewing. So that's why it was a big backup. Anyway, so
Have you called Restore to see if they pick up?
yeah, we were gonna. So we've got it up on Craigslist right now, and haven't had a single call. So we were gonna wait a couple more days, and then we were gonna schedule a habitat pickup for the big stuff,
Yeah.
and then some of the smaller stuff we'll donate here. Yep. All right. Anybody have any questions? I've had such a crazy morning that I did not get a single chance to sit down and do any kind of research. So, Sandy,
I got a question,
Okay.
not necessarily about the class. When is our new intern?
tomorrow,
And her first name?
Linda.
You were wrong. What did you say?
Could it also be Belinda?
No. Valinda was who was going to be the
Okay.
interim
Okay.
way back in June.
Right.
She was going to start in June, and then
Does she live, Belinda, on, Steamboat Island?
no.
This is what
Well, I
happens
was
to
talking
me,
to Dick Knudsen.
that I never know what to do.
You
except
just
restart.
click on it.
I did.
Well,
So
what'd you
anyway,
do?
she'll be here tomorrow.
Yes.
Her name is Linda,
Yes, just Linda.
and what's the,
That's
that's what
really
happens to me. And what's Linda's last name?
Milks.
Milks, M-I-L-T,
Milks.
M-I Milks.
Yes. Yep, she'll start tomorrow. I have no idea what that is. Normally you click
I
on this
know.
screen and it pulls up your login.
See, the only way I can get out of it is restart.
Yeah, it's to restart.
It goes to sleep.
Have you ever
and
experienced
restart.
that? Anybody with the Windows?
What's happening?
She's at the login, the startup screen, you know, on a Windows 10, and you click, and then it, like, the shade lifts and you enter your login information. Except when you click on the screen, it doesn't lift up to log in.
The only way I can do it is restart it each time.
Windows 10 login screen. Oh,
Oh, something just there.
now you're ready.
Yeah.
I don't know what it did, but it did it all on its
Did
own.
you
Look at it
restart
now.
It just takes a while. Huh?
Like
I guess
delayed
so.
reaction.
So now I would click
Left
here.
click anywhere. What'd you do? My goodness. All right. Well, we'll figure.
You disabled the startup.
I don't know what.
No,
No, it was this
we
way
just did
before.
it, and we just got in.
That's what I came in to figure out how I could stop this. Yeah.
That's really weird. Well, wait for it to pop up with that,
Okay.
because yeah, window. It's really weird. So I'm pretty sure nobody uses the Bing search engine. Bing is like Google or. But when you go to the Bing search, we can just go.
I like Bing. What's wrong with Bing?
Nothing's wrong with Bing.
I like all the pictures it shows.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. This is what the Bing. Let me
Right.
pull it up at home. This is what the Bing search engine looks like, and this is also what your login screen looks like on Windows 10. They kind of
Yeah, I like Bing.
mirrored that, and so and like you can hover over here and it can tell you different. Interesting. It's just that you used to be able to
Yeah.
have other little windows like this, and you'd
know.
hover over them, and it would tell you more information about like
They
the
changed it a
image.
while ago.
Did they? Shows you how often I visit Bing to search for things. But anyway, so they always have a pretty cool picture to be able to look and see it. And it's usually somewhere around the world or an animal or something. And then they usually have these little boxes like this, and you hover over them, and they tell you little information about it. But maybe they changed that.
They changed it. That's when I stopped using it because I
Yeah.
like just hovering and.
It was maybe it was too time consuming for whoever was in charge of that project.
I guess.
So anyway, that's also what your login screen looks like when you log into Windows 10, and you normally just click on it. Oh, and now into sleep. Oh no! All right, we are going to figure this out.
I don't need to be taking up time in the class.
No. That is so
What kind of system do you have,
See,
Jenna?
that's the only way I can do it
It's,
is just
restart.
restart.
Dell computer.
So it takes me forever to
PC
get
Windows.
You restart now. Any other
I just
people?
got it a couple months
Yeah.
ago.
Oh,
That's what I have to do to get in each time.
That is really bizarre.
And I thought I'd I've had it for 7 years.
I've not seen that before, and I.
Crashes. So I gave it to Ron. He's terrible.
And I don't even know. Sometimes that's the problem I have is describing the issue to Google
Yeah,
what the issue
exactly.
is. And if it's really that, and if you can't do a Google search, like trying to describe it and you can't find an answer, I would almost say take it to Best Buy, to the nerd herd, and not Nerd Herd. Geek Squad.
Geek Squad.
Sorry.
Nerd.
Well, no.
Nerd Herd.
So,
That's a good
all right, here we go. No, there's a reason why I said that.
That was good, Brian.
No, well, I'm not. It's not original. I can't take credit for it.
Yeah, but you're the one.
So this is one of it's not on anymore. TV show called Chuck, starring Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi. If anyone watched the Disney movie Tangled, or heard of the Disney movie Tangled, he was the voice of Flynn Rider, and so he does a lot of voice acting now and has done some other shows. But anyway, it was one of my favorite shows when it was on TV, and we still own it and we've watched it a couple times. But anyway, he works at, instead of Best Buy, because you can't use actual names, he works at the Buy More. And
Best Buy.
yes, Best Buy, Buy More. And then instead of the Geek Squad, he was on the Nerd Herd.
Oh.
And so it was the exact same thing, they fixed computers and they went on jobs to go install things. So that's why I legitimately get confused between which one's the right one and which one's the... And this last Christmas, I think it was this last Christmas, Becca bought the seasons for me so that we could watch them anytime we, felt the need or urge. And with that, she also bought me a shirt that says Nerd Herd and has their little Nerd Herd logo.
Oh, good.
Let's see if we can find it. So anyway, so I really do. I get confused between which is the real one and which is the fake one. Yeah, there you go, Nerd Herd. So, and that's exactly what my shirt looks like. Is it looks like that, and it's all black except for that. So
That's cool.
So there you go. So yeah, I mean, if it becomes a real issue, try taking it there and just say that either replicate it, which is the best option in front of them, and if it doesn't, then or describe it first, try to replicate it, and then see if they can fix it. Or there's some local places here in town, if you don't want to go down to Olympia. I don't know any of them personally, but I know that some people take them to... There's 1 or 2 computer shops here in Shelton. So
I wonder if there's anybody who's knowledgeable on either word or numbers within the Mac system. I've got a couple of issues with numbers that I've constructed. But I don't know of anybody in town that's knowledgeable on Apple.
probably
On
not.
Apple applications.
Right. No, I don't. I mean, there's probably individual people, but not necessarily.
Well, maybe after we conclude, I'll show you the one that
Sure.
issued.
Yeah, or if we've got a little time before we...
I've spent 45 minutes, an hour, maybe trying to figure it out without any problems.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Simple issue. Some of these things are frustrating. You have a problem, all of a sudden I discover it and I say, darn, that was simple. Why didn't I figure that out sooner?
Yep. Well, for example, Mike was setting up, which no one realizes, but there's a brand new computer in the sanctuary running the PowerPoint for Sundays. And it took us about 20 minutes to figure out how to get because the way that we've got the screens working is we've got the screens up front, and then if you've ever been in the computer booth, there's 2 monitors there too. And one of them is what all the users see, and then the second monitor mimics what's up on the screens. So instead of looking up and down, they can just look left and right and see what should be on the screens. And it took us about 20 minutes to be able to mimic that, and it was not a Windows setting, it was a PowerPoint setting. And so we were messing with the Windows operating system with screen resolutions and extending and duplicating displays, and it was simply something in PowerPoint. And once we realized that we should try there, we did it in 5 minutes. Yeah. So, yep.
You have to know where and you have to know what language.
Yes,
they're
that's the
speaking.
problem
It's
is
really,
locating where. And then sometimes from there, it's easy. Yep. You had a question, Sandy.
Yes, pictures.
Yes.
When I first got this phone, you kind of gave me a crash course on how to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't take any pictures for a while. So now since I have, what does it mean? How do I get it? Now when I take a picture, it says live on it. What does that mean?
Yes.
And
Yeah, you were the
some of
first person in our class that had live photos.
In some of the pictures they have that I've taken, it has a short little blurb of people moving the picture, and then
Yes.
they continue to move. But then it's, so I don't want that. I just want a plain picture.
This concept of live, is that unique to put onto a,
Apple device.
it is on an Apple device?
Yes.
Would I have it on mine then?
I don't think so because it's the newer ones. But you can look. You can open up your camera app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you just open your camera app, and the top. We'll wait for Bob to get there first so that we're all together. So what a live photo is for the iPhone is when you take the picture, it takes about 3 seconds of video too. And so including audio. And so you send the picture, and then someone can then click on the picture, and it plays the 3 seconds of audio and video in it. So it's like capturing a really quick video in time. But if you actually just look at just the picture, then it looks like a picture, unlike a video where it's meant to be a video. So it's kind of like a combination of both. Are you there, Bob?
No, and it's under settings, isn't it?
No, just your actual camera application.
Okay.
So you just open up your camera.
Okay, which I just did.
Yep, and then, so I don't see it. Across the top, there's your flash, there's your high digital resolution image, and then for Sandy and I, there's a little, what looks kind of like a sunburst. That sunburst is the live photos. And because it's lit up, see mine's not lit up, that means mine's off and yours is on. So you just tap it and it'll turn it off.
Oh.
And then there's the timer. So if you want to do a timer, and then these are filters. And so you can, if you want to take a picture in grayscale or sepia or transfer or something like that. Go ahead.
I did the HDR.
Yes.
Would you recommend it be on or off?
I turn mine off, but you can try taking a few pictures with it on. And there's also the option to have it keep the HDR version and the original version. And what HDR does is it so when you take a picture, it converts it to most cameras convert the picture from the RAW format of just the picture to a JPEG, which means that there's been some kind of processing done to it to make it look nice. HDR continues that processing of the picture one step further by making the brights brighter and the darks more defined.
So why don't you use it?
Because sometimes it does it too much to a point that it's not what the picture actually looked like to me.
Okay.
And so if I want to edit a picture, I go in and because you can go in and manually adjust your settings of what the picture was. You can you can adjust the saturation and the tone and all of that. And so you can do that manually for yourself. And I'd rather do that personally than to have it automatically do it. Because then there's no way to revert. Once it's processed the picture and taken it in that way, you can't revert it. Whereas if I manually adjust, there's always the undo button. Yeah.
But for a guy like me that's not so high tech, maybe I just ought to turn it on.
You can turn it on and see how they come out for a while. And like I said, I think the default option is to have both the regular and the HDR taken, which means you have 2 of every picture, which for me was frustrating, but may not be frustrating for other people. So yeah, so that's what the live photo does. And then if you take a look at a live photo, let's see, cancel albums. I think there's even, yeah, live photos. So if you get a live photo, you can click on it. And so it does a couple seconds of. So you just click on the photo. And so that's the picture, but then it also adds that 3-second video clip to it. So, anyway. But it also takes up a lot more space on your phone because it's both a video and a picture. Not nearly as much as maybe yes, I said that right, a video and a picture. Okay.
Yeah, so those pictures that I've taken that are like that, and I want to erase the movement and just have the picture. Is there any way of doing that?
There's a workaround, yes. Basically what you would do, which wouldn't be very good quality, is you would, like you'd click on that,
Yep.
and then you'd take a screenshot of your phone. So, which is your lock button and your home button at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So,
Explain these down here again to me.
all right. So on the bottom of your camera app are all the different things you can do with your camera. So there's photo, which it defaults to. Video, taking a video. Slow motion. So if you keep scrolling. So then slow motion would take a slow motion video.
Okay.
Time lapse is the exact opposite of slow motion. So you can set your, which I think when the kids were in Hawaii, they were down at the beach playing, and I just set my phone up and pushed the time lapse video for about 5 minutes and had, the waves crashing and coming in and going out.
Cool.
And did that for about 15 minutes, and it was like a 30-second video. And so you get to see in time-lapse. If you think about time-lapse, whenever you watch like a commercial or a movie and you see the cars zooming through a highway and they just look like red blurs because it's at nighttime and it's all the brake lights, that's time-lapse. Let's see. Square just adjusts the aspect ratio of it. So photo is wider, and then when you click on square, it just makes it shorter, which is what Instagram uses for their photos. So if you're big Instagram users.
Okay, here's square.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does that do again?
It just, the viewing size, so here, you leave yours on square and I'll leave mine on photo. See, that's the size of what the picture's going to take versus that's the size.
Oh.
All it is it's a perfect square versus a rectangular picture.
Okay.
And again, that's mostly used by people who post on Instagram because Instagram is all square photography. And then pano is for a panoramic picture.
I remember that.
Yep.
And so this is what?
That switches your camera between, like you're looking at yourself, and now it switches to the camera facing out.
Okay. Okay, so it's just a simple thing like that.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
So
yep.
is there, like, when I want to use camera, is there any kind of a manual somewhere that I could access that tells me what all these symbols are?
The manual would be going online and searching.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. As you've probably seen when you buy a new phone, you get the phone, the charger, and the charging, the part that plugs into the wall. You get the cable, the charger, and the phone, and there's really not much as far as an instruction manual. They assume a level of understanding, and then they assume that if you don't have that level of understanding, that you'll look it up online. And probably well, maybe not. For me, the easiest has always been to go to YouTube, because then you have a visual showing, and so instead of reading what each thing does, I always appreciate. I'm a visual learner, so.
So you go to YouTube and then you do a search for that subject.
Yeah. Yep. Because then I can guarantee I'm getting a video tutorial versus some other kind of.
And do you find usually that there is something there?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So what would I put in? Android camera?
I would actually look up your model of phone. So do you know what model it is?
LG something.
Does it say on the back?
Just LG is all.
Let's just try Android camera.
Coffee's good, by the way.
Excellent. That's not very helpful. Let's see if we can get your complete guide to the Android camera. This is not video, but I was not finding anything on YouTube. We can also, I can look and we can try to decipher real quick too. All right, where's your camera? All right, so that's picture, video. That would take you to your settings. I think this is.
I don't know what that is. I kept talking about it.
Oh, it's hiding your icons,
Okay.
and then that takes you back to your home screen.
And
So probably because it's so it looks like you've just got camera and photo options. Okay, so that's to put a grid to frame. That's your timer. If you want to add a timer. Talking points.
we should be able to find it with that.
Oh, to take a photo, say cheese.
INT.
Oops, I just took. Okay, so I guess that's for. That's
All right.
like
So if I want to
accessibility.
delete the photos I have on there, how do we do that?
Then you would go to your gallery,
Oh.
Mel? With an
and then you would
Okay.
and then you click on it, and then there should be a little trash can icon that will pop up.
that it from Linda Mel?
MILKS.
Mel.
Yes.
What can you tell us about it?
Whoa.
We're in a good.
That was in. That's like time lapse right there.
Well, that's all right. We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that at the very end. Oh, 11:35.
Where's the good? Okay, so since Daniel has his iPhone 7,
Yes.
where
exciting.
should he go to get directions? What's the best place? YouTube?
Direct. Oh, you mean like tutorials?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to YouTube. Actually, Apple's website. I don't think they do videos, but I think Apple's own website has support.apple.com/iPhone. Set up, moving to a fine iPhone. No, that's not exactly what I was hoping for. No, we don't really want support.
We're not-
iPhone tips for
Yeah,
seniors and beginners. It's
okay.
YouTube.
Okay, so let me, okay, iPhone chips for seniors and, okay.
Yep, and you gotta. Yep, and there's all
How
kinds
come
of.
they put seniors and beginners in the same?
I don't know. Ask this kid. He looks younger than me, so I'll call him a kid. But yeah.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
It's not my video.
Older generation users, that's
Yeah.
what it said. Oh, so okay, so it's seniors, beginners, and older generation users. Oh my god.
Tips for
okay.
using Siri on your iPhone and iPad. Produced by.
Huh.
These are comments though.
Down here are comments.
Yeah.
Someone disagreeing with someone else's comment saying that this person is a senior and beginner and really liked his videos.
Oh.
So, no, I usually ignore comments
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's just, it gets very, the internet term for it is toxic. It gets very toxic when you read comments. And so, if I'm reading a news article, I was reading a news article the other day. Of course, it was a card game that I play, and read the news article and started scrolling down to the comments, and I went, okay, I need to stop because it just goes downhill so
Yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
so
So-
fast.
Toxic, is that TOXIC or
Yeah.
is that TALKSICK?
No, TOXIC.
There you go.
Yep.
The reviews are good, oftentimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this one has almost 3,100 likes and only less than 100 dislikes for the video. So obviously there's an overwhelming majority that appreciated the video over those who didn't.
Do I want Google Chrome? I keep getting something every time I open up that asks me if I want Google Chrome.
Because you have a Gmail account, don't you? Yeah. It's gonna Google's gonna push that. Yeah, anytime I log in from Safari, because I've got a Mac, anytime I log in from Safari to the web version of my Gmail, it always asks me. It's better with Chrome.
Is it?
I personally like Chrome and or Firefox better than Windows Edge, which is their new built-in browser. But if it works fine for you and you really don't, if you're frustrated with it, I would say change. If you're not frustrated with what Edge is offering you, then I would just keep it, personally. So, because then you're having to read it. For the most part, it'll look and act the same, but there will be some differences, and it may be more frustrating trying to
Okay,
learn
so
a new.
just say no thanks.
Yeah, learn a new language than it would be to just.
I have McAfee now with this new computer,
Mm-hmm.
and so it gives me the option to put it on my other devices. And
Yes.
So I'm supposed to open it up on this device. When I tried to do that, I got a message that said there was an error in line 17 or something or other. And so I didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I try to open it up, it doesn't come up, and I'm wondering, does it expire in 10 days or something?
Was it a link that you sent yourself?
Yeah.
It may. There might be a time limit on it. Just like if you try to reset your password, there's usually some are within hours, some of them are 24 hours, some of them are 48 hours. that usually tells you. But if not, it may be that it expired and you just need to resend a new link
Okay.
or a new code. You could also try searching in the Google Play Store for McAfee, and then just install it that way, and then enter, if you have got a username and password, just enter it that way, and see if that works. Yeah.
The frustrating thing was, I was trying, I can't access this phone at home because I don't get reception there.
Yep.
So I'm trying to do it in the car while we're driving. I can't remember the password that I need. So it sends it to me in my Q.com address. Well, I can't get to that, or I lose the screen that I've got there. And I can't do it at home. It's frustrating. So
Yeah, switching back and forth between screens on a phone is difficult. Yep. Does that phone should have wireless on it? Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you should be able to do those kinds of things. You should be able to do everything but make calls at home if you connect to your wireless at home.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you should be able to swipe down from the top of your phone, and it should have a little wireless icon for you to click on.
My little browser to shut my computer down isn't there.
A little browser?
I mean, whatever. Yeah, I probably.
The icon?
Yeah.
You click on this,
Okay.
and then that little power button right there.
The what?
This little button right here,
Right.
that's a circle with a line through it, that's to shut your computer down.
Oh, that's how I do it now.
Yep.
I had it down here for some reason before. Okay.
You can see if it can go back over there. Oops, I did not do that right. Nope, it doesn't do it.
Yeah, I see where that is, so I'll do that at home.
Yeah.
As long as I know how to do it.
And then, yeah, that's just having Wi-Fi turned on your phones or tablets at home are great, because then you're not using your data plan for any of that stuff. So the only thing, and that's just at my house, it says we have LTE service, but it doesn't actually work. So we're always connected to the wireless network for our phones. Yeah. Even though Verizon said we did also.
Right.
So, which is,
Coverage out there.
yep.
Too many trees.
Apple did, for those who are Apple users, Apple did release a new update, 10.3.3. If you haven't done that, and you can update to that, I would. There was a security flaw.
I haven't done it on the iPad.
iPad, yeah.
On the phone.
Something about being able to hack into your device without even having it in hand.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Definitely download that at home.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and then Android phones, it's always good to, I don't know how they notify you about updates to Android phones, but it's always good to keep them up to date.
Okay.
So you should be able to go to settings and then system software, and then check for updates.
Okay.
The big difference between Android and Apple as far as updates is that the updates for Android phones are released based on the manufacturer, not from Google.
Okay.
So if you've got an LG phone, LG decides whether or not, one, your phone can handle the update, and two, whether they're going to even release the update. Because the Android operating system is modifiable? Is that a word? Is able to be modified. And so the manufacturers do. So LG tweaks the Android operating system to work with their phones. Samsung tweaks the operating system to work with their phones. So then if there's an update that Google releases, then LG or Samsung or Sony or whoever then has to then not only get the update, but then tweak it for their specific phone. And, you know, LG might have 8 or 10 different models of phone, and then they'd have to tweak it for every single individual model. And so it's simpler to not do it than to just do it. And then when they get when they release the next phone, the next version of that phone, then they just put the next operating system on it with its own tweaked.
And what does Apple do?
Apple just says either your phone can get it or not, and it usually supports about 3 or 4 generations back because Apple only has one. Everything is in-house. The operating system, the hardware of the phone, everything. And there's no versions of iOS. There's just iOS. And Apple will say, we'll support iOS back to the iPhone 5. So when iOS, I don't know if that's accurate, but let's say Apple's decided that iOS 11, when it comes out in September, will work all the way back to the Apple 5 or the iPhone 5. And then anyone with an iPhone 5 or newer just gets it.
Automatically.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can.
And if you're unlucky to have an Apple iPhone 4, upgrade.
Then you either upgrade or you just stick with whatever features are currently available for it. And you just realize you don't get the newest features for the device. Which is also, I mean, so that's kind of what happens with Android, is they just kind of get stuck with what features are available. But I was briefly looking recently at there's an Android phone, flagship phone, which means high-end. The one that they really try to, like the competitor to the iPhone, was looking at that, and it was 2 years old, and it's 2 operating systems back from what they're on now for Android, and you can't upgrade to the newest one, and it's only 2 years old.
Oh boy.
And so that I thought was kind of, in my opinion, silly, but at the same time, as I mentioned, they have to make sure it works with all of their tweaks and things that they've done to it to make it to work for their specific phone. Whereas Apple just says it's an iPhone, and Apple's the only one that does it, so they're the only ones that can change it, and so they don't have to worry about, all they have to worry about is whether the phone can physically handle that much processing with all the new features. So, anyway. Kind of technical. A couple weeks ago was World Emoji Day. So apparently they're releasing, I don't know if it happened already or if it's going to happen, but they're releasing something like 52 or 53 new emojis.
What are emojis?
I don't know
This-
the ones that they have.
The smiley faces
Okay.
and all those
All right,
are your emojis.
All that stuff.
Yep.
all right.
And they're getting more, and there's more of them. There's the halo and like they finally released. So I thought was funny. I think it was just last year they finally released a fingers crossed emoji for the iPhone. I don't know if they had it for Android phones. They finally released that last year, and yet for at least a year more than that, they've had the middle finger one. Like, come on, guys, what's more important? But it's not Apple. I mean, there's actually a committee that gets together and decides what new emojis to add to the.
It's funny.
And probably hundreds or thousands are submitted, and then they approve X number a year. And somehow, a couple years ago, the middle finger got approved, but no one thought to do the fingers crossed ones. Who knows?
I'm looking at all these emojis on a screen here.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So
Yep.
if I want to take that particular one and put it here, how do I do
Just click on it.
it? And
Did it not do it?
You have to click there and then.
Yeah, click there and then click on it. Yeah, you can, if you've got a MacBook like I do, you can click on, you can do emojis in iMessage on the Macintosh. So,
Yes. You've got that too.
yeah, the iMessage, being able to, it's handy. Send messages from your computer.
So when they say hashtag something or other,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean? It's like my grandkids are doing this now. It's like, I don't want to ask them.
Hashtag is, I could be speaking incorrectly on the origins, but maybe I shouldn't say origins. I should say it was popularized on Twitter.
Oh.
I believe, and I could be wrong with that too, but they use it on Facebook now and Instagram, so all the social media sites use it. And it's to denote a topic. So on July 17th, there was probably all over social media, people were posting emojis and then putting hashtag World Emoji Day. And so with the hashtag symbol and then the words behind it, it turns blue like a link.
Oh.
And then you can see, for example, on Twitter, if I were to click on someone who posted hashtag World Emoji Day and I clicked on that hashtag, then Twitter would take me to a feed of every single person who has publicly posted with that same hashtag. So when was it last year? 2016 was Rio, the Rio Olympics.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you would put, I don't know what and people create official hashtags. So I don't know what it was, but it could have been like hashtag Rio 2017.
Okay.
And then if you click on that, then you would see what every single person in the world was posting about the Olympics. As long as they added that hashtag.
It would take forever.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
So, and you, maybe if you're watching primetime TV and you're watching a really popular show, like, I don't know if anyone watches the show Once Upon a Time, which is at ABC. Anyway, down on the bottom of the screen, you'll see it has a little hashtag once.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, what else is a popular show? Or like hashtag Grey's Anatomy. And so then while you're watching the show live with all the other millions of viewers, you can sit there on your phone and say, wasn't that scene between so-and-so and so-and-so insane?
Yes.
Hashtag Grey's Anatomy. And then everyone will be able to either comment or also post their own things about it. And so everybody uses it now, and it's...
Everybody but me.
Well,
No,
I
no,
don't
not
use it.
everybody.
Sorry. When I say everybody uses it, I mean that companies have gotten into, like, even if you watch a car commercial,
That's right.
and you'll see the little hashtag
like,
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Okay,
Hashtag Honda Odyssey or something.
Yeah.
Because I saw a commercial for the Honda Odyssey last night, and so they might have. I don't know if that's really what the hashtag was, but they'll probably put a hashtag, and then you can go into social media, or you can probably even just search in Google and type in hashtag Honda Odyssey or Rio 2017 or.
Does it have
once.
the word hashtag on it?
No. The hashtag is the pound sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you would go.
There's another one.
Sorry, there you go. Yep. So hashtag once. Let's see. Once Twitter search. I want like once the TV show. Not, oh yeah, once. Maybe it's not once. Anyway, maybe I should search something that actually, but I don't know. Because I don't really use it. Once TV show. Let's see if that. I don't know what the hashtag is for it, so I can't really search for it. I'm doing a bad job of showing you.
That's all right.
But, I mean, it's kind of like around topics or like hashtag Earth Day. And so if you were to look up the hashtag Earth
But
Day.
you'd have to be on
But-
social media.
Yes, and you'd also have to know exactly what the quote-unquote official hashtag was for it. But people make up hashtags too as just kind of a thing, like hashtag best mom ever or worst mom ever or epic fail, which means that you had a disaster at something. And so
So I hear all the time on the news, just go to the hashtag,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah.
what do? Pound sign?
and then you enter whatever it is they said onto social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, okay.
You might be able, like, I tried to do it here, but yeah. If they say hashtag whatever, it's pound sign and then whatever they said, all in one word. There's never spaces.
Okay.
Even if it's, you know, like if the show Once Upon a Time really is not just once, but once upon a time, even though it's, what is that, 4 words, once upon a time. Yeah, 4 words. You would just put it all as one word with the hashtag
Right.
attached to it. So never a space. They might add underscore to kind of be the space, but it has to all be attached. Because as soon as you hit space, it breaks the hashtag. And will only use the word attached to it.
Thanks, Susan, for asking the question.
It's been confusing to me.
Yep. So yeah, it denotes a topic or an event or, you know, for people to kind of group together to talk about the same thing.
I know, like you walk through the airport nowadays, and if you went back to the 60s and walked through that same airport, it's like they've got these hashtags and these .coms, and it's like, it would be like a totally foreign world.
Yep.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Game of Thrones is hashtag G0d. G0d. Game of Thrones Instagram photos and videos.
Well, I now know how to use emojis. Look at
Don't
all,
you send me emojis. You got these
look at
people
all-
do all these
I'm
things. And it's
looking
like,
for the middle finger. I don't see it.
Maybe it's only on the
Not for
phone.
you.
yeah, right. Not for me. I know.
There's also a pile of poo one.
What
Oh,
pile of poo.
Yeah, it's a smiling pile of poo.
Jeez.
But yeah, there's the middle finger
Is
one.
there any way that you could, select maybe 3 or 4 of these and put them on the screen in the upper or lower section?
Let's see here.
I mean, here's food and drink, activities,
Let me create it.
travel and places.
Well, yeah, there's topics. So smileys and people.
Symbols.
Yeah, there's fingers crossed finally.
I mean, like the flags. If I wanted, there's 150.
See, there's the
250 flags.
There's
here.
the smiling pile of poo.
Things we learn in class, right?
That's right. There, see, there's the middle
I
finger
can't
right
get
there, Bob.
into my computer anymore.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The
Where
what?
did you find that?
It's right next to the dude that's flexing,
What
and
subject?
it's under smileys and people. It's right, so you get past all the smileys, then you get the kitties, and then you get all the hand symbols.
You're
Like,
not supposed to know that.
well, no,
Technical
so I've got a chat with my dad and my brothers. So it's me and my dad and all 3 of my brothers, and we had a long conversation about how they're
Well, there's frequently.
like there's the thumbs up and there's the okay and there's all these different gestures, including the middle finger one. But because we were talking about, I think my younger brother was trying to get into some program or something, and we're like, fingers crossed, but there's no fingers crossed one at that time. So, but then one of my brothers pointed out that there's a middle finger one. So there's footprints. Yeah, and once you get from 3 to 4, then it.
But, there's hundreds of them here, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
scrolling down.
And there's going to be more added.
Activities.
Yep. Animals and
So
nature.
where's the middle finger?
All right, Bob.
Under objects.
Forget it.
Nope.
You're not supposed to know, Bob.
I'm not. I've got some people I want to send it to.
All right, Bob. Look on the screen. We got these smileys and people, right?
Yeah.
So we're scrolling past the smiley faces.
Uh-huh.
We're scrolling past these weird people
Kitty
and then
cats.
the kitty cats, and now we're into the hand symbols.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Forget you learned that, Bob.
Last thing in class I teach to Bob is how to send a middle finger. It's a great way to end things.
I can't get into my computer anymore, and I try to get It says connecting, and then the screen comes up and says not unable to something or other.
Oh, but I think it's because the guest network kicked you out. Yep, you got booted out.
Oh, all right. That makes me feel better. That's okay then.
Well, you can give hand signals
Yep, you can have
in
like
different skin colors.
yes,
So
you
if
can choose
want
the
to
skin
send
tone that you
a
want.
black person, a Mexican person, a white person.
Yep. Yep, or you can go with the generic yellow. I forget. There's some kind of term for what the generic yellowish color is, but then that's what it used to be. But then they decided to add all different
some
kinds.
of them have different colors, some don't.
So the last thing you
Yes.
learned in computer
Yeah,
class.
how to give somebody the middle finger.
That's right.
Gosh, that's not really good to know, I guess. But some of these things are car symbols. One of the best programs on TV is Jay Leno's Garage.
Oh, yeah, Dan watches that.
I've gotten hooked on. I like that thing.
Yeah.
It's really
I mean, all the cars, and the guy's a great comedian.
the people he has on
He
there
has
too.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just-
So how do you access these emojis?
They would
well,
be in
for me,
your
it's under
when you
edit.
send a text message. There should be next to the keyboard just a generic smiley face with the circle with the 2 dots and the smile. Like if you look on the screen, it's right here.
Oh.
That should be next to the keyboard on your phone too.
Oh, okay.
And then you click on that, and it'll pull up all the possible emojis that you can send. And the reason why, I mean, the great thing about emojis, we'll end on this note instead of the middle finger, is that you can, they're emojis, emoticons, so that you can send emotion associated with your text. So if you say, if I send a text message to my brother and I say you're being a brat or you're being a jerk, but I send it with the emoji with the tongue sticking out,
Yeah.
then it's denoting that I'm being facetious, or I'm just poking fun at him, and that I'm not really calling him a jerk. But if you were to just send you're being a jerk, then he'd think that he said something offensive to me.
Well, and that's the problem with text and emails.
Text and emails, there's
That's not
no...
Yep.
Yep, a letter, a text, an email, if you're saying something and it's not... I mean, even if it's explicitly straightforward, in your mind, it might not be.
Yeah.
And that's what we learned in our preaching class, was that whatever you say is not necessarily what people hear. And so adding these symbols, these emojis, you are then conveying, hopefully, some kind of emotion associated with that.
Yeah.
And actually, if you've got, I don't know if it will, do you have iOS 10 on your phone, Bob? Did we determine that?
Yeah.
So if you start typing on your phone with iOS 10, and Android might do this too, I don't know, but
Type in a text.
yeah, so like if I type in the word car,
And I click on it.
car time, and then you click on the emoji, the word car, which I know you can't see up on there,
Right.
but the word car turns orange.
Yep.
And if you click on it, then it shows you what options of
Yeah.
emojis you can get to turn your,
No.
instead of the word car, it then replaces the word car with whatever emoji you click on.
Yeah, that Android does that.
yeah.
Still have that up?
Yeah.
So now I've typed in the word car. Now
So car, time, and rain. So car, then I can pick car.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Okay.
rain, I can pick either the umbrella or the rain cloud. And that's only if you click on, you type your text first,
Yeah.
and then you click on the emoji button, and then it'll show what it can decipher as what becomes an emoji.
I didn't know
So, and that came out with iOS.
Okay, but here I typed in car.
No, but it has to be a text message.
Well, it's got to be a text.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Sorry, not emails. I think, and the reason for that is because sending an email to someone, if they get it on their computer, an emoji will pop up typically as a square box with a question mark, meaning the computer can't decipher what image you sent.
But on texting, it can.
For the most part. Sometimes I've texted someone with an Android phone in the past with an emoji that was, I'm guessing, not standard and was made by Apple or only on Apple phones. And they said, "What are you trying to send me?" and explain that it was just a box with a question mark. And so I had to text back and say, "Oh, it was I think it was like the hands shaking in the air."
So when I send an email and I want a smiley face, I do the colon dash and paren. And
Yep.
it automatically pops up with a smiley face.
Yeah.
So does the person receiving it not get that smiley face?
They probably will, but anything beyond the basic ones, like a smiley face or the one with the tongue and the sad face, if you get more complicated ones, and there's some pretty complex ones on phones and tablets now, it will come up as the little question.
The only ones I know how to type in are the happy face and sad face. So.
Yep. And if you do that too, if it's quicker for you to just type the
it is.
the happy face and the sad face with a colon and end parentheses, then you can just do that, and it automatically converts it for you. And I think most, if not, I think all of them actually have some sort of symbol combination that you can enter, but they don't ever tell you what that is. So then again, you'd have to go onto Google and say, symbol emoji, and then it will show the picture and show you what the actual character combination is to get it to turn into that. And I think because there's so many, for me, it's easier beyond the smile and the sad face than the tongue. Yeah, the tongue is colon and P.
Oh.
So, because the line and the little loop for the P is the tongue. So, yep. There you go.
Thank you,
Okay.
Brian.
You're welcome.
Yes.